All right, we're here. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the show today. It's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. Welcome to February the 27th, the second last day of February already, 2019. Unbelievable how time is flying when we have so much fun. Thanks for joining me here on my show as I frantically make sure everything is good. It seems to be all right. Okay. Don't know how many are going to be watching me today. There's all kinds of political stuff going on out there right now, and been watching that all day long, kind of off and on, trying to not watch it, but sometimes you just can't help yourself. Being Canadian and all, I mean, it's really not my bag, but things happening down in the U.S., aren't there? Welcome, guys, to the show, Traveling with Bruce. We love talking about cruise ships and cruise ship holidays and taking cruises and enjoying the various ports and everything else and whatever's happening out there. I love talking about it. I love that we get to go on here a number of times a week. I'm on Monday to Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern, Saturdays at 2, and I also do live trivia Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Be here or not for live trivia. Had a good time on last night's trivia show, and welcome to those of you who are watching that, and those of you who watch me here regularly on my live channel. A bit of news today I've got for you, a couple things I'll talk about and review. I posted a video earlier today. I don't know if you've seen it or not. If you get a chance, I hope you like it. It has to do with basically MSC, our friends at MSC. They released a little policy statement the other day that caused a bit of a kerfuffle. How about that? Kerfuffle. There's a word. And I'll go over that in a few minutes with you guys as well. The channel continues to grow. Traveling with Bruce. Thank you, all of you who are loyal followers of my channel. We're now at 16,810 subscribers. We're coming in on 17,000 subscribers now. Fantastic. We added about 60, 70 more since yesterday, and they just keep coming. It's fabulous. I love it. Welcome all of you who have joined this channel in the last few months. Since Christmas Day, we reached 8,000 subscribers on Christmas Day. We've almost added 9,000 since then. This is February the 27th, so you can see in 2 months, the channel has more than doubled in size in the last 65, 70 days. It is truly stunning. I'm humbled by it, excited by it, of course, and I'm just grateful that a lot of you have chosen to join this channel and follow what I do. We're going to I'm just going to say, by the way, if you're new to this channel, if you're new to this live chat, if you're finding me for the first time ever, thank you for joining me. We love to, like I say, I love talking about cruise ships. Please sign in if you don't mind. I'd love it if you would. Tell me, where are you watching me from? I can't tell you what kind of a thrill it is every time I read my hellos from everybody. I find out that there's somebody new watching from wherever. Tell me what country you're watching me from. What's your city, if you want, and tell me what's your high temperature today. What's the price of gas in your neighborhood, if you don't mind telling us that? And did you get an ad? Did someone advertise to you today? You'll find that my regulars, they sort of kind of say, hi, Bruce, so-and-so here. It's 38 degrees and gas is $2.22 a gallon. And saw an ad from QuickBooks today. And there you go. But whatever you say to me is fine by me too. Love the shout outs, love getting folks to say hi to us. And we love welcoming, all of us here love welcoming new viewers to the chat. This is a PG-rated community. We love to hang out every day. There are a lot of folks you'll find, if you stick around long enough, you will notice people talking to people while I'm talking to you. And then they'll kind of cut me in once in a while with a comment. If you have a question about cruising, fire away. Let me know what you want to know. Chances are, by the time I get to the question, you might already have an answer from someone who's watching with you that might know the answer you're seeking, but on the other hand, you might not. We'll do what we can to help you out. We love talking about cruising. We're all addicted to cruising. We can't wait to go on our next cruise. There you go. Thanks to all of you out there who support this channel, you regulars out there. Many, many more of you than before. Some of you have found your way to support this channel in numerous ways. One is to acquire a Traveling with Bruce T-shirt like this right here, a picture I took of the St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. That is the Explorer of the Seas. My wife were on this. We were on this ship right here. We went up the cable car ride, took a photo from the top of the ride down to the harbor, and there was our ship. And this photo of the many I took, this one photo came out pretty nicely. And well, I ended up getting it on the shirt, and got a TWB logo put on right there. Fantastic. A number of you have acquired T-shirts from my site. A number of you have been looking and acquiring TWB merchandise like coffee mugs and travel mugs. I will say about the TWB store, those of you who haven't been there for a while, you're going to notice changes because Jennifer has been hard at work now for over a week to clean up the look of the TWB store, the RedBubble store, which you can find on my channel by looking at my homepage. You'll find little icons on the top corner, either up here or up here, little dots. One of them is a RedBubble dot, little one. Or if you go to my About page, you'll see links there. One of them is to RedBubble, or down below in the description, you'll find it as well. Folks are going there, and you'll notice there's a whole different look to a whole bunch of the logos. If you take the time to take a peek at some of the merchandise, we have made a number of changes. Jennifer is responsible for handling that now, and she has made some real nice improvements on the look on a number of the items that used to be pretty kind of plain looking. They don't look so plain anymore. They're looking pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited. So if you get a chance to check out the RedBubble store, check out some of the different logos. You'll find, what, 35, 40 different logos now, and there are upwards of 30, 40 different items per logo available. It's just never ending. Try to find something for everybody, and hopefully you'll find something you like. Again, anything you acquire on RedBubble, RedBubble handles everything, and I earn a overriding royalty on everything that you buy there. Helps fund me as a full-time creator to stay doing what I do. Thank you, everybody. Some of you have been kind enough to go to Amazon.com through my affiliate link also, and thank you for helping support my channel there. I get a royalty on anything you buy on Amazon if you use my affiliate link to do so. Thank you to some of you who also send me a note saying, hey, Bruce, I just bought something on Amazon. Look out for that. I just bought this. Check, make sure you get a commission on it. So thank you for that. And then thank you to those of you who send me comments and thumbs ups on videos that I produce, thumbs ups here on the live show, and also those of you who share my videos to friends on Facebook and other social media. You sharing my videos out there really makes a huge difference for my analytics. The YouTube people love it when they see outside traffic coming in to a small creator like me. I'm still tiny at almost 17,000 subs. I'm still microscopic when it comes to YouTube, but like I said, we've practically doubled, or have more than doubled since Christmas. It's just amazing. And then last thing I'll mention about the channel, thank you to those of you who make donations to this channel through my donate button on PayPal. That goes a long way too. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about the news of the day. I've got a couple things to talk about. First thing I'll mention is the video I uploaded today a few hours ago. I caught a story from MSC that a couple of days ago, they sent out a little directive, maybe a little email thing, a little fax thing, something like that. Excuse me. It went out to all of their travel advisors and travel agency partners. So this would have been sort of an industry release, not necessarily a bold public press release with a bunch of fanfare. This went out sort of on the not the QT, but kind of like the QT in sort of a background kind of way, and it got picked up by a whole bunch of travel agents who then found who heard about it, and the word spread like wildfire. The story goes that MSC wanted to enact a new policy with regards to their gratuities. They wanted to make it official that starting, I believe, at the end of March of this year, so like in a month from now, roughly, about a month from now, that all onboard gratuities, like those room gratuities, the daily room cabin tipping fee, which ranges depending on the cruise line, but I think it's MSC, it's like $14 a day, something like that. Don't have the exact amount off the top of my head. It's a per person gratuity for the room steward, and the money actually gets split amongst the crew. They wanted to make it mandatory. They didn't want to make it optional anymore. They wanted to basically charge the tip, the gratuity, on your room account, which they always do. And at the end of the cruise, you pay it, and you cannot retract it. They didn't want to make it an optional thing where you can line up downstairs at the guest services desk on the second last day of your cruise or whatever and kill that tip. They wanted to make it mandatory, and in effect, it's no longer a gratuity. It is now, in effect, in reality, a surcharge. They wanted to make it literally a surcharge on a per-person basis, so adults and children. Children might be at a reduced rate, but there was no way to avoid it. So if you wanted to make a tip yourself in cash to particular people on board that you felt deserved an extra little bonus for for taking good care of you, rather than doing the room thing, that's no longer your option. You can still give people cash tips, but now it's on top of the mandatory gratuity that was going to be charged. This directive went out around the world from MSC, which is based in Switzerland, within hours. Their systems were overloaded with outrage and complaints from every corner of the globe. There were all kinds of problems. They were, I think, stunned by the absolute upheaval on social media that came their way. And I'm telling you, this was not a public announcement where they did a full-blown press release and everything else. This was still done through their channels, through travel agency groups and that type of thing. They got such flack for that. They rescinded it. They just backed off, and they just said, "Oh no, we're not going to do that. We'll do it the way we've always done it. We'll charge it to the room account, and then if the passengers have an issue, they can take it up with the guest services downstairs in the lobby of the ships." Which leads me to ask you out there in YouTube land to get your take on this, to get your feeling on this, to get your opinion on this. Where are we headed with this? Virgin Voyages is just coming out as a brand new cruise line from scratch. The Richard Branson Group, the first ship, Scarlet Lady, will be in the water next year as a performing cruise ship out of Miami. They have come out with all kinds of announcements about what their cruise line is going to be like, what their policies are going to be about, how their cruises are going to be structured. What it's going to be like on board the ship. And one of the things they came up with pretty early on was no tipping. They will not charge a daily gratuity fee to your ship account on a per-person basis. In effect, what they've done, I think, and I like it, is they just built it into the price. Let's not kid anybody. The cruise line at Virgin Voyages is charging a certain amount of money per person or per cabin for their cruise, and rest assured, folks, inside that fare, that cruise fare you're paying, is the wage and salaries to the staff. On MSC and on Royal Caribbean and on Carnival and on Norwegian and on Holland American, you name them all, virtually all the other lines out there, the mainline lines, they have it where you pay your fare and you pay your taxes and port charges additionally, and then you have your gratuities. And these daily gratuity rates, as we have noted and we've talked about now for a year and a half, especially on this live show for the last year and a bit, these keep going up every year. Every year, the cruise lines come back and say, well, we're increasing our daily gratuity from $13 a day to $14 a day, or from $12.50 to $13.99. They're playing all kinds of games, but they're upping the number, and it's soon to be across the board $15 per person per day. Don't even think it's going to stop there. It's likely to go higher. This is the nickel and diming we keep talking about. This is one of those nickel and dimes. We've noticed, for example, gratuity charges on services. Guest services have been bumped lately. There used to be like a 12% gratuity on drinks and on spa services, on other services that you would order, specialty dining and so on. Now that has gone up to, it went up to 13%, then it went to 14, then it hit 15% a couple years ago. And then we started to see 15 to 16% to 17. Now we're hearing 18. And now I see, and I'm beginning to notice, 20% gratuities being added on to an order. Even if you walk up to the bar and ask the bartender for a can of beer, bottle of beer, he hands you the bottle of beer, and it's a 20% gratuity on top of the unbelievable price of the beer. Might be a $6 beer with a $1.20 tip on it. For the betterment of the staff, they keep telling us, for the betterment of the staff. Rather than give the staff a pay raise, they're adding these gratuities and they're upping the rates. And so across the board, the nickel and diming continues everywhere we look. And now MSC was the first ship to attempt to, in effect, rather than say, folks, you know, the tipping thing is a big issue, and it's we're an international cruise line, and we have passengers from around the world, and some are not used to the tipping environment like North Americans are, and so on and so forth. We're just going to eliminate the whole thing and just build it into a fare. We're just going to quote the price of a cruise, and inside that price of the cruise is all the nickel and diming that you folks hate to see on an individual basis. Here it is. They didn't do that. They didn't go there. They decided, no, 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 no. As I mentioned to you the other day, in Tampa, Florida, there was a full-page ad in the local paper the other day. Peter Heckema told me this, showed me she took a picture of the paper, sent it to me. A full-page ad from the MSC company for the Seaside. The MSC Seaside sailing out of Miami for weekly cruises in the Caribbean. And for $645 was the big dollar sign, and right in the ad there, for only $645, you get a balcony room for a one-week cruise. And included in that was a drink package and internet. What it didn't say was port fees and taxes are extra. Daily tipping fee is extra. There's the tip on the drink package you still have to pay for, and you must have for each person, 2 adults per cabin minimum, so that's in the mandatory additional. And then there's specialty dining additional. You pay tipping on that, and if you use spa services, there's tipping on that, and on and on and on it goes. And so in reality, those of us who've been around a while and we know how cruising works, for those of you who are new to cruising, we know that $645 is not the price you pay. $645 on a balcony sounds like a good price. It's a nice starting number, but in reality, by the time it's all said and done, you're going to have to practically double that number by the time you get off the ship. You'll be lucky to get off of that ship for less than $1,000 a person, probably more like $1,300 a person, and that's the deal. Now, hey, $1,300 per person for a week in a balcony on $1 billion cruise ship, I still say is a good value. I just wish they build it in. Just don't play games with me. Treat us like an adult. Stop treating us like idiots, village idiots. Just put it out there and say, hey, this is an all-inclusive price. Here's your deal. It's so much money, and this includes everything that is part of the cruise. If the drinks are included in that, the tipping is included in that, put it all in there. Just tell us. I think I would, and I think the public would appreciate it. However, the cruise line's argument and the PR departments are saying, well, you know, if you advertise $645 for the cruise, you'll get a lot more people who'll phone the 800 number and want to get information about it. If you put that thing out there at $11.99, no one's going to call us, because Royal Caribbean isn't going to change. Celebrity isn't going to change. Holland America isn't going to change. Carnival isn't doing that. All these other cruise lines aren't doing it. They're all going to have that $5.99, $6.99, $7.99, $8.99 price, and we're at $11.99, and we're way out to lunch. And they're not going to. The public won't hear the fact that it's all inclusive. They won't hear it. They'll only see the $645, and they'll get duped in. And I'm not sure if we're that gullible, but yeah, the marketing people, they know what they want to do. In any event, cruise lines, are they going to go this route now? Are they going to go this route? Are they going to begin to play games where they're going to say, yeah, the gratuity, the per day gratuity is $15 a person, $16 a person, $17.50 a person, and it's going to become mandatory, or it's going to be needed to be paid in advance, mandatory in advance. So you've got to pay the $30 a day, $35 a day for 2 people up front before you can get on the cruise ship. In other words, there's no way you can't pay it. You've paid it, you've got it, we got the dough, you haven't even come on the ship yet. We got our fare, we got our tip money, we got our ports and fees and all that. And now it's just a matter of what can we get off you now that you're here. Is this coming? Is this the way it's going? I'm kind of curious to hear what your thoughts are on that one. Anyway, there's the video I made today. In a nutshell, I produced this video today. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Please give it a thumbs up if you like it, and we'll go from there. All right, tipping, big subject, always a big subject, and it always heats up the room. I think cruise lines are just reluctant to well, let's put it this way. If you're the president of a cruise line and you're the chief operating officer, you're the chief bean counter, these guys are under unbelievable pressure, especially at Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, and Carnival. These guys are under unbearable pressure every 13 weeks. Because every 13 weeks, as a publicly traded company, these 3 massive cruise lines have got to report to shareholders how they're doing. And analysts in Wall Street are eager and are demanding improved numbers every 13 weeks. It's not good enough to match last year's number anymore. It's just not good enough. You have to make more. Make more. Well, how do you make more? One way to do it is keep your costs down and don't give raises to a majority of your staff. In other words, the folks downstairs who are the hardest workers on the cruise ships from the third world, and they're the ones who have no power and no say, no union to improve their lives down there. And if you can avoid giving them a pay raise, or giving them a pay raise of maybe 1% a year so that you're staying even below inflation, but giving them a raise in other ways without having to disclose it to the public. In other words, raising the tipping charges on services, drinks, and so on. That's the way they're giving them more money without paying them more in a salary scenario. That way, the boys in Wall Street will not write a report saying, oh, you know, that the cost factors for so-and-so cruise line have gone up quite a bit over the industry average because of the increase in salaries. They're not only hiring more people every year because they have more ships, but they're paying them more. And if they have a bad quarter, if their bookings slump down a little bit, those pay raises are locked in. That's not going to look good on the bottom line. On the other hand, if you don't give your employees big fat pay raises or higher than inflation pay raises, and you only offer them more money on a tip basis, the staff down below are now as vulnerable as the corporation is with respect to how many passengers are coming on the ships for their paycheck, because it's becoming more and more obvious that as long as we go on the ship and spend, the crew down below will earn a living wage, barely a living wage in the third world, not in Pittsburgh, Philly, New York, or anywhere else. They don't live in the USA, these folks. These folks live in the third world. That's where their family is from. So there's a downturn in the business. There's going to be a downturn for the workers down below big time, because they have not been given pay raises to equal inflation or anything like that. Their pay raises are coming from increased tipping charges that the cruise lines are trying to nickel and dime out of us. And we resent the constant game being played. The excuse always is, well, Carnival did it last year, so we're just doing it this year. We're within the industry standard. That's why we're increasing our tipping. It's just the industry standard. We're just charging what everyone else charges. Are you tired of that one? I am. Anyway, there you go. There you go. There's that first topic of the day. Second topic, quickly go over back to MSC again. Just a little bit of good news for MSC. They took delivery today of their brand new ship known as the Bellamissima. Their big delivered ship, the Bellamissima from France, was completed. They got it delivered today. They're going to receive another ship called the Grandiosa in November of this year, and then they're going to receive the MSC Virtuosa in 2020. So MSC has got a lot of new ships coming out, a lot of pressure to bring on staff, a lot of pressure to train new staff, and they obviously are under pressure with regard to pricing, especially the U.S. market. The market out of Miami is not paying what MSC thought they were going to get with the delivery of the MSC Seaside to unbelievable hoopla the MSC side received come to Miami and to be home ported out of Miami. That ship is not leaving port full at all. It is not leaving full. I'd be curious to know, for folks who've been on the ship, have they felt that it was ever crowded on there? Did they notice empty cabins when they were on the ship? I just get the impression that they're not selling out. And if they are selling it out, they're selling it out at cost, at a major discount for perhaps the last 20, 30, 40% of the bookings. We'll have to see how this goes forward. They're going to need to improve their offering to North American cruisers. They have to improve the way they deliver the goods to North Americans, because the first year wasn't that great a year from the reviews we were getting from people who were on the ship. All right, that's MSC. Now, the other topic of the day is I read the other day, and I mentioned it the other day to you, was the Norwegian Gem. The Norwegian Gem cruise ship was attempting to return to New York to complete her 11-day cruise, a Caribbean cruise. And it was a very windy day in New York, very bad, wintry, windy day, and it caused flight delays at LaGuardia, probably Kennedy. It created all kinds of problems for ships coming and going out of New York Harbor. And in the case of the Norwegian Gem, she was not able to come to the pier in New York on the day she was supposed to. She was delayed approximately 24 hours until she was able to finally dock in New York, which of course caused a cascade of problems. When a cruise ship with 2,000 passengers or so or more is stuck at sea because it can't come into the port, you've got 2,000 people who aren't getting off the ship on time. And a whole bunch of those folks don't just live in the nearby neighborhood. They flew in or are flying out. They missed flights to get out. They missed their hotel appointments, or they missed a Broadway show, or whatever they were going to do in New York when they returned to New York. A whole bunch of stuff got wiped out because they were stuck on the ship for an extra day. Conversely, there were 2,000 people looking to get on this ship to start their cruise, but they couldn't get on the ship because there was no ship to get on to. And so here we have 2,000 people coming into New York or coming to the pier and not being able to board the ship. Now, if they live nearby, they can just stay at home and wait until the ship arrives. But if they flew in, and they've got a problem. Where am I going to sleep tonight? Where are we eating? We thought we were going to be eating in our dining room on the ship tonight. There's no ship here. I'm getting hungry. We have to go out and eat. We have to find a place to sleep tonight because we're not getting on the ship until tomorrow. And so this is a domino effect that goes through and ripples all over the place, not to mention the suppliers of food, the suppliers of the alcohol, the staff members that are coming onto the ship to start their contracts, staff members that were supposed to get off the ship to finish their contracts and then fly out back to the Philippines or wherever they're working from. There was a whole mess of trouble here. And that brings me to the topic of travel insurance. This past week, just this past week, I have talked to you folks about the Norwegian Gem. I've talked to you folks about a couple that were in their 80s, also from New Jersey, on the Allure of the Seas, who were in effect told to get off a cruise ship in Mexico due to a medical issue. And I have talked to you in the last week or so about a P&O cruise ship stuck at sea in the Pacific off the coast of Australia due to a cyclone that was affecting Australia. And there's 3 stories right there, examples right there of why you might want to consider having travel insurance. The first one, the Gem, no passenger was at fault here. This is Mother Nature. Not even a cruise line was really at fault. It was Mother Nature that ran into this one. The second story, the Allure of the Seas, a couple with a medical issue went from bad to worse. The missus had the issue, and the doctor on board the ship said, you got to get off. I can't treat you here. You're going to have to go to a hospital down there or get home ASAP. And they chose option number 2. What a nightmare getting back for those guys. And then the third one, Mother Nature again kicked in. I'm telling all of you out there, the third story of the day is the importance of travel insurance, doesn't it just come up again and again and again? Like, don't we, how many times do we have to see stories like this to kind of wonder? And I have mentioned it in the past, I'll mention it again. I really think that cruise lines should band together. I think all these lines should just get together on this one worldwide. The CLIA, the entire organization of cruise lines around the world, I really think they should band together and organize mandatory medical travel insurance. That means for travel delays, medical emergencies, medevac, you name it. I mean, cover A to Z should be mandatory on every ticket that we buy for a cruise. I don't care about this argument of, oh, I don't want someone telling me what to do and how to live my life. Forget about it, because as a passenger on a cruise ship, I want to know that if I get ill or I sprain my ankle or the ship can't get back to the home port and there are 3,500 of us stuck in the ship in the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. This past week, there was another story. Gulf of Mexico, the ship couldn't get back into Galveston because of the fog, or New Orleans because of the fog. Flights were missed. Connections were missed. People couldn't get onto the ship. That was all screwed up. We're talking thousands and thousands of examples, and we're talking millions of dollars collectively here lost and gone into the ether, and good luck getting an airline to give you a $200 break on a change fee, or an airline saying to you, oh, I'm sorry, you're going to miss your flight home today out of Houston back to Denver where you live. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to book another flight? Because your ticket's gone, pal. Your seat's gone. Your ticket's gone. We're not giving you any of your money back. You're out to lunch. Want to book a one-way with us now at the last minute? Oh, we can't wait for you to call us. We'd love to sell you a ticket for triple the cost. This can all be avoided with travel insurance, and it can be bought in bulk by the cruise lines. The power of Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, and Carnival to be able to buy tens of thousands of policies in bulk from insurance companies, they will fall over themselves to offer the best deal of deals, because insurance companies do the math. They do the math. They know that the odds of a person claiming a credit on a policy is very low. It's very low. And so the cost per person on a multi-million-dollar purchase of policies will be a good deal. These cruise lines have unbelievable bargaining power. The CLIA has unlimited bargaining power. 30 million cruisers are going to be on cruise ships this year. Can you imagine negotiating a 30 million travel insurance policy contract? Putting a tender out there to Alliance and all these guys and say, come back to us with the best deal. Which one of you guys can offer the best deal per passenger on a per day basis or a per cruise basis? And we'll go with you guys. And it's an annual deal. This competition is open all the time. Who wants this business? I can tell you the insurance companies will fall over themselves to bring in a rock bottom price, where you and I right now, we're at the mercy of these insurance companies. On a 1 week cruise, I've had people tell me, oh, I'm paying $150 for a week. I'm paying $250 insurance for the week, depending on how old you are, what your conditions are. I mean, it's outrageous the amount of money you're paying for travel insurance. Whereas if we were part of millions of passengers negotiating for, it would be down to $10 a cruise, $15 a cruise. It'll be so cheap. You would be shocked at how low the price would be, because the insurance company is going, you mean everyone's covered? All 2,000 have, all 30 million people have insurance, and only 500,000 are going to use any of it. And of them, some are only going to need some meal vouchers, some car rental vouchers, a couple of airline vouchers, and a few of them are going to need more than that. I mean, the numbers are so good for the insurance company. They'll bring that rate down so low to get the business, because it's a volume buy and it's a volume sell. To me, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. I applaud travel agencies. I applaud countries in the UK, in Europe as a whole. There are countries in Europe where you cannot take a trip. You cannot buy a trip through a travel agent without travel insurance. It's mandatory. You must have it. There's no way around it. You cannot board the plane or the ship or the train, whatever the travel thing is. You can't take the trip without it. You got to have it. It's the law. I think it's a great idea. I really do. I think it's a great idea. I would rather see, however, the CLIA as an organization just do it as a policy. This is what we're going to do for our clients. We're going to take care of our 30 million cruisers, because these horror stories on Bruce's channel, every week, Bruce's channel has another horror story about a couple who got caught with this, or the story about that, or the ship that got caught in a storm, or every week. It's unbelievable. It's great for my ratings. Got to tell you, great for my rating. But is this what we want to be watching and talking about? And we all say, oh, those poor people. That's what we always talk about. We always say that. Oh, those poor people. Isn't that a shame? Yeah, it doesn't have to be that way, but it is. And anyway, I'll have to get your thoughts. What do you think? That's my little rant of the day, my little spiel of the day in the middle of a political firestorm on TV today. There's 93 of you here. I'm amazed there's that many here. I would have thought I had 20 people here today. I welcome you all to the show. Thank you for joining me. If you have any comments about these topics I brought up today, I'd love to hear them. And let's see who's here, and let's compare notes. Welcome one and welcome all to the show. I'm really glad you're here. I can't tell you how many times I get people telling me success stories about travel insurance. They say to me, "Oh, I was on a trip with my my wife 5 years ago, and this happened to. We had an issue that happened to the ship or whatever, and we were covered with insurance. Oh, thank God we had it, because it would have cost us $5,000, $3,000. We didn't have it. We didn't have that kind of money. I don't know how we would have gotten home. We would have needed friends and relatives to bail us out, to get us home. Travel insurance has saved countless millions of dollars to people who've could have had really bad outcomes. Again, I don't know why this isn't mandatory. I really don't get it. The so-called freedom thing, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. We all have a fire department. We all have a police department. We all have armies and navies and air forces. So-called freedom, yeah, we have freedom, but we have people taking care of us, looking out for us all the time. Every city in town has sewer people. Every city in town has electrical people looking after the grid. They're all there. We're all paying for it. I'm thinking travel insurance is kind of like that. It's just something that's there to protect you against anything that can happen, whether it's a personal medical issue or it's just Mother Nature screwing around with us, which Mother Nature can do from time to time, as we've seen. What about hurricane season down in the Caribbean? Oh my gosh, you got to have coverage. You're crazy not to go without travel insurance. You really are. But I would rather make it cheaper than more expensive. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, let's see who's here. And say hi to everybody. Please say hi to me. Tell me if you're new and you're watching me for the first time. Please pop in and say hello to me. Vivian is here saying evening all cooler today in the UK. She had 71 degrees yesterday. That was a record high. Not bad, Vivian. Here in Crescent, cloudy. Not bad though. No rain or snow or anything like that. But we're about 25. So it's a calm kind of a day, but not warm enough to melt away the snow we've got. It's just kind of hanging around right now. Brittany Lockwood, hi Bruce and everybody. John LeBeau is saying, hey TWB everybody. Linda Lou, hey TWB family. Linda Lou is saying it's 47 degrees in Reno. Blowing off, I think Reno's blowing off of the earth. 3 straight days of high winds. Brittany, 71 degrees in Baton Rouge. Brittany, you've got Vivian's weather. Vivian had that yesterday. Now you've got it. Nice temp, Brittany says Linda Lou. Jeremy G, hi everybody. Heading to Palm Springs for relaxation, 76 and slight wind. Jeremy, you're killing me. I love that town. I used to live down there. I miss it terribly. They've been cool though lately. They have not been pleasant last week, but looks like things are improving back to normal. Welcome to the channel. Brittany Lockwood, thankfully, I did not go anywhere today as I have no cell service. Just changed service providers, and my new SIM card is not working, and my phone tells me to do something with my old provider. So Brittany, hope you get that figured out. Excuse me, I'm just hiccuping here. Linda Lou, good for you. Jeremy G. Deb Gwinnett is here. Hello, Bruce and everybody. 10 degrees Fahrenheit, snowing. Gas is $2.25. Deb is in northern New York State. Welcome, Deb, to the show. And stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for coming by today. Again, as always, Brittany, my phone is not all that old. I've only had it for a year. Jeremy G. Finally, Linda Lou. Deb Gwinnett, hi, Linda Lou. Brittany Lockwood, I think Jeremy's going finally. I'm getting there to get away from this cold weather where he is. Linda Lou, I have always had so much fun in Palm Springs area. Live to go golfing. Right on. Hi, Deb. She says, Vivian, everyone's coming in here. Deb, hi, Jeremy. Linda Lou, hey, everybody. Wendy Thompson, hi, all. Deb, Linda Lou, Brittany, hi, Bruce. Wendy Thompson, welcome from the Ocala, Florida area. Linda Lewis saying the early birds are here. Just before I went on the air, these folks are hi talking to each other. Roger Leonard popped in there. And he says that DE, I think that's Delaware, it's icky today. Sorry to hear that, my friend. Linda Lou says John is here, but he's not talking. Let's see what else. Well, Dwayne, I'm in here. I'm here. I'm giving my thumbs up. I'm out of here. Dwayne, have a great day. Linda Lou's not sure if you believe him. We have 43 thumbs ups already on the show. Thank you, everybody, for that. Really appreciate it. Who else is saying hi to me here? Alan Carter. Hi, everybody. 6 below Celsius in Calgary. Gas, 103 a liter. It's gone up over $1 a liter again. So we're now up to about 380 Canadian for a U.S. gallon. That's about $3 U.S. or so, or 290 U.S. a gallon. Linda Lou, I am envious. Roger Dwayne, it warmed up in Calgary. Deb, hubby heading out to shovel as we are meeting our son for dinner tonight at 6 p.m. Expecting 3 to 6 inches more tonight. Enough, please, in northern New York State. Deb, hang in there. Roger, I will give full report upon return. Right on, Roger. Dwayne, 5 degrees plus in Victoria, British Columbia, Celsius. So that would be about 41 degrees Fahrenheit in Victoria. I wish I had that here. Vivian, 6 weeks for me, and I'm out of here. Roger, booking.com is today's ad. Thank you, Roger. Deb, but you're counting the days. Roger Leonard, where to, Vivian? Linda Lou, hi, Bruce, new shirt. This is sure, I hadn't worn this for a while, but hope you like it. One of the many I offer on RedBubble. Leandro, a quiet and sunny day today, about 80 degrees Fahrenheit in the Canary Islands. Today, gas is 102 euros per liter. So that would be 3.80 euros, $3.80 US gallon. Add about 10% to that, $4.20 American for a gallon of gas in the Canary Islands. Margie, hey, Bruce and everybody. Linda Lou, you missed trivia last night, Dwayne. Valerie, hi from Florida. Gas, $2.49. Temperature's about 68 degrees. Valerie, welcome to the show. You're getting with the program. You know what to do. Fantastic. John LeBou, hey, Linda Lou, how you doing? True Janie Sue is here. Hello, everybody. No ad today. True Janie is from Texas. How are you, darling? John LeBeau, Perillo tour ad today. Florida Lifestyle team is here. Bruce is in the house. So is Florida Lifestyle. Welcome, you guys. Kirk Brunson, hey, Bruce, New York City is here. Right on, Kirk. Linda Lou, you're last, John. I don't know what that means. Deb Gomet, you're last. You're the last one here. Deb, hi, True Janie. True Janie, hi, Deb. John LeBou, yes, why? Yes, I am the last one here. Katie Haston, 72 degrees and in Pensacola, Florida. The ad today was for a Lake Tahoe resort hotel. Not bad. Advertising to folks in Pensacola to come over to Lake Tahoe. It's a bit cooler in Lake Tahoe than in Pensacola, so I'm not sure how well that's working. They're trying to get skiers, I have a suspicion, or maybe they're trying to get them for the summertime. I don't know. True Janie, hello, Linda Lou. Linda Lou, I said hi earlier, John, but you weren't here. Vivian, Roger, transatlantic, she says. Frank is here. Frank in Grazia. Hello from Texas, 75 degrees, $1.98. For the gas, no ads today. Right on, Frank. Welcome back to the show. $1.98. You got the cheapest price going so far today, as far as I can tell. Jonathan Jones is here. Hello from Savannah, Georgia. Welcome, Jonathan Jones from Savannah. Beautiful place. Brittany, I saw RedBubble ad. Right on. Kat Dodd, Columbia, South Carolina. Weather, 70 degrees. Nice. I could sure use some of that. Welcome, Kat. Monique is here. Hello from Cherry Point, North Carolina, 62. And gas is 227. That's kind of golf weather for us Canadians. We still golf in shorts in that kind of weather, even if it's windy. Smushy Mom, hello from Wisconsin. We had freezing rain this morning, but it is mostly melted now. Welcome, Smushy Mom. Right on. Welcome, Roger Leonard. Nice, Vivian. Mark Poole is here. North Carolina is here. 54 outside in North Carolina. Welcome, Mark Poole, to my channel and the show. I'm glad you're here, buddy. Kat Todd, Royal Caribbean cruise in 24 days. Yeah. First RCI cruise, 5th cruise ever. I want to know if anyone else has been on Rhapsody of the Seas. Prefer or do they prefer Chops or Giovanni's for specialty dining? Those of you who are Royal Caribbean fans, what do you think? Rhapsody of the Seas, is she going to enjoy that? Is going to be enjoying that ship? And what about Chops or Giovanni's for where to eat? What are your thoughts? Some of these folks might react to you on that. Florida Lifestyle, where will the new Disney cruise ships be going? I really think one will be going overseas to Japan. Well, there are 3 new Disney ships coming, if I got my math right. One per year starting, in 20, sorry, folks, I'm adjusting whatever I got left here. Starting in like 2021 or 2022, I have a feeling that for the first year, they're going to stick close to home because when they arrive, the 3 existing Disney ships will each go in for refurbishment big time. They'll be in need of a major redo, and they'll want to redo them, right up to modern standard. So that's going to put the pressure on the new ones to help out the old ones. But I think they want to increase the frequency of cruises out of Miami. Port Canaveral, obviously, there's no doubt about that. But I think they're going to go seasonal out of New York. They might go seasonal out of Los Angeles. I'm told also Galveston. I think Galveston is Disney signed a deal with Galveston, if not even Tampa. But Disney will certainly increase the frequency of what they've got because they're going to go to 7 ships. I mean, they're not going to go to 20. This only gets them to 7. They really can't spare a lot of ships everywhere else. They just don't have that many in the line in the fleet. They're going to have to add 4 or 5 more if they really want to go global. But I don't know if they're going to do that. I think they're going to play the exclusivity game. We'll have fewer but charge more per, and we'll have high margins per cabin with fewer numbers of ships to maintain and run. It might be their strategy. They haven't gone the route of mega cruise. Have you noticed that? They're not going with this. Yeah, we'll go to 6,000 passengers per cruise game. They're not doing that game. They're sticking around this 3,000, 3,500 mark, even with higher occupancy numbers. They don't seem to want to go into the 5,000 range. They are adding a new island in the Bahamas, a new resort to add to the one they have. So they're I think they're going to try to maximize the dollars from where they're coming from right now. And they're getting top dollar. They're delivering a great product, no question about it. But I wonder if really Japan is in the works. It might be a seasonal thing, maybe not. I think if they went to Japan and China, I think they do well. They've got a strong Disney following there because, of course, they have Disneyland or Disney Worlds in Asia as well. But they also have one in France. So we'll see. There might be the odd, once in a while thing, perhaps with a repositioning cruise in the middle of it all. We'll have to see how it goes out. True, Jenny, St. Thomas is beautiful, and it can be gorgeous. It was a neat little place that we enjoyed it. It was a quiet Sunday when we were there. We were the only ship in port, and so we got off lucky. There were not 5 or 6 ships in port with 25,000 passengers. There were only the 3,400 of us, and we had it all to ourselves, so it was all right. Kat, I went to St. Thomas before the hurricane. How is it holding up? It's coming back. It's come back a long way, but there are still resorts being rebuilt even today. They won't be up until probably later this year, this fall. Dave H, Oak Creek, Wisconsin. It's in the 30s. Dave H, how you doing, pal? Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining me from Wisconsin. Sylvan, hi, Bruce and all. 79 degrees Fahrenheit in Delray Beach, Florida. Raining outside. The ad was for Domino's Pizza today. Thumbs ups, everybody. Smash the subscribe button right on. Sylvan, welcome back. Thank you so much. 47 thumbs ups have come in already. I appreciate that from all of you. If you can spare a thumbs ups for this guy, I would love it. David H, cruising with friends, he's saying. Florida Lifestyle Team, I'm thinking about doing the Around the World cruise and doing a daily blog and vlog. Now, that would be something. That really would be something. You want to make sure that whatever ship you're on, you have the right internet. Make sure it's of the caliber. Otherwise, of course, you do vlogs and upload them every once in a while when you get on shore. But that would be something because I don't think it's been done yet. I don't think anyone has gone around the world and done a daily vlog on a around the world cruise. But technology is quickly getting there. I would do it on, say, Viking. I would love to do it on like a Viking cruise because the internet is of that caliber, of that quality of a caliber that you can do uploads. I would love to do a live show every day from my cruise ship. I would love that. That would be a lot of fun. John LeBeau, Linda Lou was here earlier, got sidetracked. Smushy Mom, hi Dave H. I'm from OC as well. Donnell is here. Donnell O'Malley. Donnell O'Moni. Hi Donnell. Hi Bruce, everybody. No ad before your show, but a big ad campaign by Royal Caribbean right now on Irish television. He is in Cork, Ireland, following me virtually every day. Donnell, glad you're here, and that's interesting that you see that. That's quite interesting. Heather Parsons. Oh, there's a name I haven't seen in a while. Hi Bruce. We're in the middle of a snowstorm, and it's 10 below in Toronto today. Heather, how have you been? Have you been snowed in on me? welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Hang in there. I know the weather in Ontario, Quebec, the Maritimes, and the northern U.S. has just been kooky, just stupid, crazy. My buddy Iskew Park out of Thunder Bay has been telling us nothing but horror stories about his weather up there, just crazy. And I know Toronto has been extremely cold this year. Hang in there, Heather. Stay inside, stay warm, stay healthy, and have a warm one of these for me, and stay safe. Right on. Well, welcome. Deb Guimet, Leandro, can't wait to visit your beautiful islands in the future. It's a bucket list of mine. What a beautiful area to live in. The Canary Islands is where he is. Lynn Lou, John, laughing out loud, John, glad you got back on track. Who else is going on? David H. Micro Brew Cruise Celebrity Apex, March 2021. Right on. That'll be a nice cruise. The Celebrity Apex, for those of you who don't know, the sister ship to the Edge, the Celebrity Edge, the one that's creating all the stir right now. The latest ship to be brought out by Celebrity, the first new ship for Celebrity in 7 years. The Celebrity Edge is going over very well, getting rave reviews from passengers who are taking it, but they are paying a high premium price to be on her. If you want to take a cruise on the Celebrity Edge, be prepared to pay at least 50% more to double what you would pay normally on any other cruise ship of that caliber, especially any other Celebrity ship. The Apex will come out March in 2021, being built right now in France. There'll be a sister ship to the Edge. Right on, Dave H. Vivian, hi, cool jazz. Hello, Deb. How are you? My son wants to know if they had any jazz bands on the ship. Interesting. Deb Guimet, hey, cool. How are you doing today? Any snow? Cool jazz. Hi, Viv. How are you? Glenn, Edinburgh. Hi, Bruce, and all TWB family. 29 Celsius, overcast, few showers the last day of summer here in Australia. The last day of summer. Welcome, Glenn, from beautiful Brisbane, Australia, to my show, and I'm glad you made it. Vivian, okay, thank you, Pet. Cool jazz, no snow, Deb, just cold. I think tonight maybe. Curtis Lee, that's fine if you've got the money to cruise. You could throw a little money around for a tip. I always leave extra on top of the stuff that I already added to my bill. There are some hardworking people on these cruise ships. Curtis Lee, I cannot agree any more than that. You are absolutely right. James Grundy, North Carolina, already does the, what is that? Already does that, charges tips before you leave port. NCL, NCL. Here's what he's saying. All right, not North Carolina. It's NCL, it's a typo. Norwegian Cruise Lines already does that. They charge tips before you leave port. James, there are certain cruises that Norwegian has a mandatory 20% room charge automatically added into the tips. If I recall, I believe these 3 and 4 day short cruises that Norwegian is operating have mandatory tips already built into the fare, in effect. There's no option to undo it. I have a feeling that this includes the Cuba trips. I'm not a fan of that necessarily, but on the other hand, if it's built in, then I don't feel guilty, not having to worry about tipping anybody if it's already built in. Valerie, I like to prepay mine, so I count it as part of my fare. I'm the same way. I prefer to just prepay my tips before I even get to the ship, and it's off my mind. I don't have to worry about it. If I get outstanding service from someone on that ship and I choose to give them a cash tip, it's my business. I'm a happy guy. Sheila, hello, Bruce and everybody. Hi there, Sheila. How are you doing? Curtis Lee, people should be complaining about the parking fee at the port for what they charge. Laugh out loud. In most cases, the parking fee is more than the tipping that they want to charge you. Curtis, you make a good point. I remember leaving I had a rental van for a week in the Los Angeles port. It was $17 a day to park the car there. Multiply that out, that's 120 something bucks. But I rented the car from Canada. I brought it all the way down to the US, and I was taking it all the way back. So I had no option but to leave it somewhere. And I decided I would leave it there because when I got off the ship, I left Jennifer at the checkout area with all our suitcases. I walked over, got the vehicle, and drove it to Jennifer, and we loaded up and got the hell out of there. And we went on our merry way. But yes, there are some ports where your parking fee is pretty outrageous, but then there are ports where you can get some pretty good deals to park as well. It varies. Brittany, the tipping should always be an optional thing. Teresa Barber, Royal Caribbean did that on our trip last month, she's saying. Kat Dodd, I don't prepay gratuities, but I don't take them off either. They should call it a service charge and leave it at that. There you go. Monique, I'm okay with extra tipping. By the time you break it down, they might not get all that much. Brittany, I would, of course, do it, but sometimes tipping is just nuts for the amount of passengers need to pay in tips. Vivian, he'll soon be tipping everyone you meet, from ship workers to checkout ladies at Walmart, just because they served you. Glenn, I like to tip to the cruise staff. I think they deserve it. I think the guys that are below decks are looked after very well. Roger Leonard, I agree. Vivian, John LeBeau, DCL is also prepaid. Plus, I tip extra on the bar bill. David M. Little, gratuity, what we call a tip, is based on good service, he said. Now they just want us to, they want to actually a method of us paying the wages. Yeah. The cruise lines are trying to figure out a way to reduce what they pay their workers and get more of their pay to come from us as extra charges. And that way, the cruise lines do not have to report on their accounting as high a percentage of costs to operate their cruise line, because tip revenue is revenue in the front door, and splitting that amongst the crew is not an obligation prior to the cruise. It's only an obligation once the passengers are on the ship and spending. So cruise lines, they've been in effect offering lower pay increases every year lately to the staff. I'm talking about the workers down below, the hardworking crew. I'm not talking about the officers and these folks in the uniforms. They're doing fine. The doctors on board and so on, they're doing fine. But the folks who are, room stewards, laundry people, sous chefs, the janitorial, all these guys. These folks are getting a percentage of the action of the tip money, and their pay is now becoming more and more dependent on the spending habit of the customers. The cruise lines are trying to help the crew by bumping the amount of the tip we pay in dollars, the per day tipping gratuity that's going up every day, and now the percentage of tipping on services, where it used to be 13, 14%, now it's 15%, now it's up to 18%. Some cases it's 20% surcharge on tips. So that's how crews are getting pay raises, because of the up charges on the tipping side of it. Remember also, when our friends at the cruise line says, oh, we have a new drink package. The drink package now includes this, and this. Well, we took this away. We're not talking about that. But we now charge $70 a day for our drink package, and we have a 20% tip on top of that, mandatory. The crew, in effect, is getting a pay raise, because if the old drink package was $50 and the new drink package is $70, that's $20 more to the cruise line. But the tip used to be 18% of 50, and now it's 20% of 70. It's more tip money, and that goes to the crew. And you can see how the crew is getting more and more of their base pay, or their overall pay, from gratuities as opposed to increases in the pay rate. And this allows the accountants at head office to show the bankers in Wall Street how they are in control of their expenditures. They're maximizing revenue and keeping the lid on expenditures, because they're not on the hook for a guaranteed wage that went up 5% last year, or went up 4% last year, or 8%. They're not doing it. They're cutting the wage growth much lower, offering maybe a 1% pay increase because of inflation. That's all they're giving the crew. The rest has to come from tipping fees. And that's how they make the books look better. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. A little sinister, I think, actually, myself. But that's just me. It's just me. Let's see here. Cat Dot says, if you take off your gratuities at the end of the cruise, I hope you only ate at the buffet and didn't ask your cabin steward for anything extra. Yeah. Good luck with that, right? Literally, what happened to tips being for good service? I think making tips mandatory will make it so you don't have to have good service. There you go. This is the age-old. If you're the room steward and you're a waiter and you're a busboy, and you know that everyone is being charged the mandatory tip around here, and I'm going to get my $800 a month no matter how hard I work or how hard I don't work, the only person you have to impress now is your supervisor, because now passengers, they're forking over the money no matter what. And so, yeah, the outstanding the one crew member that shines above the rest. There might be fewer examples of that. I don't know. It's an interesting point. Valerie Jones, Kat, I agree with you. Kat, I get the drink package partly because you prepay the drink gratuities based on the package instead of the per drink basis. Wendy Thompson, up next is my ad, she says. John LeBeau, I hate tipping the head waiter when all he does is come around to the table for about 2 minutes, introduces himself, and then he disappears for the rest of the night. Well, of course, the head waiter is in charge of all the waiters and theoretically is the individual training them and whipping them into shape between shifts to make sure that they keep their standards up. But I hear what you say. I hear what you say. Donna McKinnon is here. Donna, where have you been? If it is mandatory, it's not a tip. That's right. That's right, Donna. You're absolutely right. Monique, Linda Lou, I agree with you too. Margie, I agree, Linda Lou. Glenn, Edinburgh, tipping is very contentious for Australians, as it is not expected by staff anywhere here, as wages are very good here. $24 Australian for an hour for average wages here. People make a living from their wages. They don't need tip money to make ends meet, like in Canada and in the USA. There's the difference. In Canada and in some states in the United States, waiters and waitresses don't even get minimum wage. Why? Because the state government figures, hey, you're getting tip money. You don't need the minimum wage. You're getting tip money over and above whatever you're getting. So instead of you getting 12 bucks an hour or 10 bucks an hour, whatever the minimum wage is, you can get 6, and the rest you'll get in tip money, which means outstanding service, you make minimum wage. Talk about a dead-end job for waiters and waitresses in the United States and in some states, in some provinces in Canada. Germany, you go to Germany and you go to a hotel or a restaurant, you get serviced. Take a look at the wait staff. I mean, study the wait staff and take a look and see, are they university kids? Are these high school kids working to make some money on the side? No. Your waiter has white hair like this guy right here. He's got a pension plan. He's got medical insurance, and he's a professional. He's been a waiter for 30 years. He knows his stuff. He can handle any specialty request you have because he's seen it all. She's seen it all. The folks in Europe and Australia here are professional employees who know what they're doing. They don't change jobs every 3 months for 50 cents an hour more here or $1 an hour more there, or the boss isn't so-and-so over there. They'll leave entities from time to time, but to steal a top quality waiter from a German restaurant is tough to do because they're well paid and they have national insurance, national rights. They get 6 weeks holiday paid a year. It's a real job. It's a real job. It's not a high school job. It's an actual career. Who would have thought? Of course, people who work in restaurants in Germany, as an example, I'm not just saying only Germany. I've had personal experience. I've been there a number of times. These folks who can be your waiter, they're qualified to be the maitre d'. They're qualified to work the bar. They're qualified to handle all kinds of jobs in the restaurant. They can, in effect, help manage the business. When the boss goes on holidays, they can run the show when the boss is away. This is how well trained these folks are. These aren't just waiters, and that's all they know. They know the whole operation of the entire business. And as a mom and pop operation, that is huge. And as a corporate entity like Hilton in Berlin, the Hilton chain in Berlin has some nice quality waiters that are there forever. And they don't have to worry about constant retraining costs because these kids last one semester and they're out of here. You don't have that situation in some of these European places. Just a little background for you. Deborah Gomet, cool. Honestly, there were so many venues in so many areas that we were unable to attend that were all offered. Dueling pianos were great. JR on the piano in the district. It was very good. Also, Sheila, do the cruise lines have to pay taxes on gratuities? No, they do not. Cruise lines are not taxed in the United States for income because they're not U.S. entities. They make their money offshore. They're all offshore entities. All the ships are flagged outside of the USA, so they do not have to do that. Peter Heckema, hi Bruce and everybody. Another overcast and rainy day in Tarpon Springs, Florida, only 72 degrees. My login ad today was for American Cruise Lines. We've heard that one before. Gas remains at $2.49 a gallon. Peter Heckema, welcome my friend to the show as always, and thank you for your undying support. And I'm glad you're here as usual. Fantastic. Say hi to your lovely wife for me. Linda Lou, so true, John. Cool Jazz, thanks, Deb. Vivian, just how many multiple thousands of people go on cruises and they all tipping or mandatory. So who's paying the cruise wages? Not the cruise lines, more like the passengers. The bottom line is the passengers are paying the cruise wages. The passengers are paying all the wages. The passengers are paying all the costs. The passengers are paying for their own food because in the fare is the income for the cruise line. I just say, hey, why don't you just tell me what the price of the cruise is? I can then shop from every cruise line. And instead of me trying to figure out who's got the best deal, I can just figure out what cruise line I want to go on. If I want to go on a family-friendly kind of action-oriented cruise for young kids, I might pick Carnival, or I might pick Holland America, Royal Caribbean, or Disney. But if I want something a little more appropriate for my age, I might pick Holland America or Celebrity or Viking. Just tell me what the price is. And but unfortunately, I can't tell you. You folks ask me, well, how much would it go on? What's going to cost me? What's a good deal for a one-week cruise in the Caribbean? Not easily done, because you got to add this, you got to add that, you got to add this, you got to add that. You got to find out what this cruise line's tipping policy is. You got to find out what the tipping policy is on their drink package. You got to find out what the tipping policy is on their spa packages. It's very difficult to price out because it's like trying to herd cats. The cruise lines like it that way. So do the airlines. Have you noticed? Very difficult to compare from one to the other because they're making it very difficult to track them down, to nail them down. Very interesting. Cat Dot. Personally, I love tipping because when I go into a country where people don't work for tips, I notice the service usually isn't that as good. That's interesting. Sylvia, hi, Bruce and all. Commercial Hershey Almond Bar today. 44 degrees and cloudy in Greensboro. Thank you, Sylvia. Welcome back. Saying hi to Little Lou. James Grundy. They don't tell you about the extra charges until you book the cruise. Port, tip, package, and taxes. That would add $400 to each fare price that they list. James? You got it. You're exactly right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. We know if we see a billboard on the side of the highway and it says $4.99 for a 7-day cruise, we know back here, way back here, you got to double that. You got to at least double that to be anywhere near realistic, because by the time any normal person takes that cruise, and by the way, that price is an inside room on deck 4 beside the freight elevator, and they only have one of those rooms available. That price is impossible to get. You can't take a cruise for that kind of money. Generally not, unless there's a super sale. Once in a while, I mention them to you, but pretty hard to find deals like that. Sylvia, cool. Glad you decided to come on in today. Arthur Hernandez, MSC is the worst cruise line ever. I will never cruise them again. Terrible customer service. There you go. I get that a lot. Monique, Arthur, thanks for the info. Sheila, I really do wish they had cruise fares with the total fees up front. But you know, it's a hunt. It really is. It is. You go to the website of the cruise line. You ever notice that? You try to go to the cruise line and how much would be a cruise, and you got to go through all the steps. You got to pick your ship. You got to pick your departure port. You got to pick the date. You got to pick how long you're going to go, and then you got to pick the region you want to go. Then you get like 15 different options. You find the one cruise you want, then you hit the button, and then they show you 5 different categories of rooms. You still don't know how much it is, and then you click through that, and then finally on the one side of the screen, you start to see the numbers slowly but surely coming in. Nowhere near what you thought, what you first saw. You saw that first $650 cruise or the $700 cruise, and you look down here, it's like $3,800. So you're like, where did this come from? How was it $3,800? It was a $700 cruise. What happened? Well, here we go. You wanted a balcony. Oh, you wanted a spa balcony. Oh, you wanted this. You wanted that. Then they're throwing you, well, we have this for free. You qualify for these freebies. You say, great, I'll take those freebies. Boom, it just went up another $300. All the mandatory tips just kicked in. It is a minefield of fun when you're trying to figure that out. I agree. I would like to have it all put in there. Roger Leonard, Arthur, first time I've heard that. Monique, me too. Linda Lou, I agree. Sheila, Valerie, I have only cruised Carnival and Royal Caribbean. Both have exceeded my expectations. I do prefer Royal. Valerie, I'm a happy guy. If you're happy with these cruise lines, way to go. This is great. That's what it's all about. You're happy. You're happy. David M. Little, how much is skimmed off the top of the tips for the cruise lines as, quote, processing fees? I can't answer the question. I can't find the numbers. No one will talk. Linda Lou, I think I'll stick with Princess. Monique, has anyone ever sailed Carnival Elation? Good question. Roger Leonard, hey, yay, Princess. Sheila, I read somewhere that for every dollar the gratuities went up, the cruise line received $15 million, and I bet it's not going to the crew. Sheila, I can't confirm that. I can't justify that comment. I don't know. I'm not in a position to say. John LeBeau, I've only sailed Disney. Monique, is Disney okay? Disney is okay if you don't have kids. Is Disney okay if you don't have kids? Question mark from Monique. Yes, it is. There are adult-only areas on Disney ships, but be forewarned. You're going on a Disney cruise, and you're going to go to Castaway Cay for the day. You're going to have a lot of kids on that ship. That ship is designed for family cruising. So, you know, when you're getting off the ship, getting on the ship, the lineups, in the buffet, the kids, unless you're hanging out in the adult-only areas, you're going to be exposed to children. But not that anything wrong with that, but just, you know, part of the deal. Monique, thank you. Wendy, we have cruises with Princess and Carnival. If I have to pick, I'll pick Princess. Linda Lou, too many kids on Disney for me. Monique, okay, thanks. Valerie, I would love to do a Disney cruise without kids. John LeBeau, Monique, yes, it is. Monique, I'm so over Carnival cruise. Monique, thanks, John. Roger Leonard, lots of kids, but they do have adult-only areas, and they do enforce it. TFXA, somebody here, do you know anything about Viking Line? What would you like to know? Tell me what you'd like to know. Wendy Thompson, a cruise, no kids on board, great. Jeremy, I enjoy Celebrity. Linda Lou on Carnival Cruise, one was enough for me. Jeremy, I agree, Monique. Linda Lou, I have heard Celebrities is very good, Jeremy. Sheila, who do you sail with, Linda Lou? Monique, is it me or does anybody else feel like NCL is really off to a bad start this year? They were off to a bad start last year. David M. Little, Disney Dream, kids everywhere. No one telling the kids this is the adult area. Never again, David says. Monique, thanks, David. Sylvan, Celebrity is very nice indeed. Linda Lou, Princess is my favorite, but I like Holland America too. Deb Guimet, there was a group called Vox Fortuna from Britain's Got Talent. They blew us away. That blew us away. Amazing voices, Cool Jets. Let them know not to miss them either. Valerie Jones have done 3 Carnival and 3 Royal Caribbean cruises. We'll continue on Royal now. I like them better. Right on, Valerie. Nothing wrong with that. Roger Leonard, David, we've done 3 Disney cruises and never ran into that. It's been a what is it? It's been 20 years since our last one, though. Okay, Monique, thanks. Val, Sheila, thanks. Linda Lou, I will look into those. Valerie, you're welcome. Roger, 10 years, not 20. Glenn Edinburgh, I agree. Valerie, Linda Lou, I like formal nights. Love seeing men in suits or tuxedos. Glenn, travel insurance is a must. Linda Lou, great food and entertainment on Princess. John LeBeau, I want to do an Alaskan cruise, possibly Princess. Monique, me too, John. Glenn Edinburgh, Bruce, it is not beneficial financially for cruise lines to offer travel insurance. Well, it could be. It could be if they only figured it out. I think they could do very well by it. But what can I say? It's just one of those things. Roger, I did Alaska on Princess. I had a great time. Linda Lou, I've never been to Alaska, John. Valerie Jones, I love my Alaska cruise. I did it in 2013. John LeBeau, bucket list for me. Glenn Edinburgh, the doctor, makes an absolute fortune for them. He would with insurance too, because the insurance would pay it, but then there might be negotiated rates, but who knows? I don't know. Vivian, as I said, agent wouldn't let me book until they saw my travel insurance. Couldn't book without having it. There you go. I think that's the way it should be. That's just my personal opinion. But I think it should be done through the cruise line as an add-on, and it's in the fare, buried in there. You don't even know how much it is. It's already in there. That's what I would love. Monique, Val, what ship? Linda Lou, I would like the cruise tour to Princess Lodge in Denali Park. Valerie, it was Carnival Inspiration. John LeBeau, north or southbound? Valerie, out of Seattle. John LeBeau, yes, Linda Lou, same here. David M. Little, buy insurance. My cut leg needed 3 stitches. On board, $1,200. Had to pay bill in full, then pass it on to my insurance, which normally covers all. They only paid $300 because that is the common charge. $100 a stitch, $300. That's all you're getting from us. You're out $900. Not good. Linda Lou, John, my bucket list is a cruise to Tahiti. John LeBeau, thanks, Valerie. Karen Lipson, hiya, Bruce, 68 here in Phoenix. Right on, Karen, welcome to the show. John LeBeau, wow. Roger Leonard did the South Pacific. I did the South Pacific on Princess too. Monique, I'm going to see if my car insurance company offers this in an override. Check it out. Arthur Hernandez, 60 days till Celebrity Equinox Cruise. Yay, right on. Way to go, Arthur. Linda Lou, oh, Roger, you are blessed. Monique, Val, I'm going to look into it, but not for Carnival. Cat Dodd, travel insurance never made sense to me because I'm going and I'm healthy, but you never know. Linda Lou, 28 days on Princess is my dream in the South Pacific. Cat Dot BC, I'm going and healthy, but I'm close to my port. Roger Leonard, sometimes Linda Lou, you can't take it with you. Donnell, I hope the cruise companies take your advice, Bruce, and get each passenger a great deal with insurance. Vivian, I inquired about the Mardi Gras from UK to New York. 2-day stay in New York, sail back on the QM Queen Mary 2. Cost is over £4,500. Yikes, that's expensive, Vivian. You could probably get a cheap flight to New York from like Norwegian Airlines and then take the cruise back. I don't know. Say so, Bruce. Free market works every time. Personal choice to get insurance or gamble. There's the comment right there. Jeremy G, way to go, Arthur. Valerie, I looked into it for my last cruise for my insurance company, but it cost $300 for a 2-day trip. Too much. Lucky we didn't need it. Well, Valerie, like I say, you want to get a specific policy for a specific trip. You pay a huge premium. If you just take an annual policy, if you're traveling more than once a year, 3-4 times a year, depending on what you're doing, maybe it makes sense to have an annual all-the-time policy in effect. It might run you $300 for the year. You never know. Brittany, let's all give Bruce a thumbs up. Oh, Brittany, aren't you kind to say that? I got 57 thumbs ups going right now. Thank you, everybody, for that. Linda Lou, yes, that's very true, Roger. Roger Leonard, it was 28 days. Last 8 days was Tahiti to LAX. Linda Lou, I'm so envious, Roger. Glen Edinburgh, I paid $188 Australian for travel insurance with no excess for travel to Singapore and then cruise to Sydney, Australia. 188 Australian is about 130 American. It's a lot more affordable than some of these other prices I'm hearing about. Cat Todd, they could always include travel insurance in the price of the fare since people want to prepay gratuities, apparently. There you go. Sheila, how was Tahiti, Roger? Adam's airplane videos leaving on Freedom of the Seas, leaving for San Juan. Right on, buddy. Enjoy this old biddy. Hi from St. Louis. How you doing from St. Louis? Welcome back. Glen Edinburgh, 14-day cruise, travel insurance above. Roger Leonard, nice, but we were there on a Sunday and it was basically closed, he says. Jeremy, hi, Bruce, hanging out at Palm Springs, 76 degrees with a slight breeze. Jeremy, nice. Very nice. Beautiful area there. Erica Comiso, hi. Erica here from Appleton, Wisconsin. Hello, Erica from Appleton. Only 11 degrees here, and we got about 5 inches of snow. Welcome, Erica, from the beautiful state of Wisconsin. Something tells me it's a lot prettier in the summer than in the winter. That's just personal opinion because I'm a summer guy. I'm not a winter guy. Welcome to my channel and the show. I'm glad you're here. Sheila, Bruce lived in Palm Springs, Palm Desert. 8 years, loved it. I wish I could be there all the time. Deb Guimet, Valerie, wow, that seems like so much. We get the insurance. I don't think we paid more than $250 to $300 for 2 weeks, and we've needed it twice for the cost of the entire cruise. Twice we've needed it, so it's paid for itself. Sheila, I used to say when my daughter turned 12, she's 21 now, that I was moving to Tahiti and my husband could raise her for the next 12 years. Glen Edinburgh, love your shirt today, Bruce. I have a similar photo from the same spot when we were on the Allure of the Seas. It was on the 4-wheeler bike tour, riding in the middle of the road, dodging traffic, laugh out loud. Was amazed for that. It's a neat place. It's a great view from up there. It's a great day. You can hang out on the top of the cable car. They have a snack bar. You can buy beer, coffee, cola, whatever, a couple snacks, hang out, sit on chairs. And you got this beautiful vista all over the island. It's fantastic. Take photos, grab some video. It's really cool. Valerie, I just started purchasing it for airplane trips as we never know what can happen. Travel insurance, smart move. Tom R, anyone gone on the Pride of America Hawaiian cruise? Anyone? I'd be curious to know. I have not. Deb Gomet, Cool Jazz. Just checking to see if you got that second message about the music before I sign off to go meet my son. Have a good evening, all. Gave you your thumbs up there, Bruce. Thank you, Deb Gomet, for the thumbs up. I got 59 already. Thank you so much for that. Sheila, Virginia was around 52 degrees today. Nice, calm weather today. Adams Airplane, Chops, great ship. Rhapsody of the Seas, a great ship. Chops is my choice. There's your first answer. Glen Edinburgh, Rhapsody of the Seas is great. Chops is great. And do Giovanni's on the back of the galley tour. Bottomless champagne. Here you go. 2 thumbs ups there. Valerie, I had Chops for lunch on my last cruise on embarkation day. It was the best steak I've ever had. There you go, folks. There's some real good recommendations. Catherine, hello all from New York. 30 degrees today in the Big Apple. Had an ad from Twizzler today. Twizzler. Well, that's interesting. Thank you, Catherine. Sheila, Viking. Sheila Thompson. Sheila, isn't that right? Sheila? That's how I pronounce it, right, Sela? Hi, Bruce, from your Detroit neighbor, 29 today. How you doing, Sela? I'm glad you're here. Wendy, Ocala, Rain, oh, my aching back. Margie, sorry, Bruce, got to go. My English bulldog has to go potty. Laugh out loud, take care of that English bulldog. Don't mind me. Wendy, 77 in Ocala. Catherine, cruising in June on Carnival. I have already paid my tips in full and will tip more if the service is excellent. There you go. That's cheers to you. That's the way I like to do it. Caffeine-free Diet Coke. Drink of YouTube creating champions. What can I say? Arthur Hernandez, it's pissing out here in Boca Raton. What can I say? Hopefully it's a warm rain, not a cold one. Glenn Edinburgh, I remember my first cruise back in 1995. I gave a lady on the pool deck a $100 Aussie note that looked after our drinks for the whole cruise. The lady was in tears, never seen the same appreciation since 20 plus cruises. I can imagine. That must have been something. Roger Leonard, feeding time. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Roger. Linda Lou, darn wind, lost my internet. Let's see how long it'll last. Linda Lou, bye, Roger. Sheila, bye, Roger. Sheila, never mind. Okay, Monique. I don't know. They all are paid like that at Starbucks. I don't know if they're paid like that at Starbucks. She's wondering, is this the drive-through people? Sheila, Monique, I meant to say she earned $2.33 at TGI Fridays. Now she works at Starbucks for $10 an hour. Interesting. Here in Canada, it's not uncommon to go to a Starbucks and see help wanted signs in the stores. They're having trouble staffing with quality staff. They're getting all kinds of unqualified people you don't want behind the counter wanting jobs, but they're a little picky for some of the Starbucks that I've been to, and they're offering pretty good perks, pretty good wage, and other perks to come on board. They're looking for what they call team members rather than just employees. I like the sound of that, but that's just me. Anyway, there you go. Let's see what's going on. Jeremy G, that's more like it. Sheila. Megan Pfeiffer, hi. Are there limited alcoholic drinks for per a day with a drink package? Megan, that's a good question. Very good question. Megan, it depends on the cruise line. It depends on the drink package, but generally, yes. It's in some cases, you are allowed to get a drink every 45 minutes. In some cases, the drinks are only for, let's say, the basics. Like you want a rye and Coke, you get a rye and Coke. You want a specific rye and Coke? No, you can't get that brand of rye unless you pay more. So it might be, the drink might be, let's say, up to $6. It's included, but you want a $10 drink, you pay the $4 differential plus the tip on the $4. Some cruise lines will restrict what you can get on drink packages. Again, some of them are very, they're quite small. Is what they'll allow you, beer and basics. Others, like they say, they'll have a limit. Some give you like a punch card, and you can only have like 10 a day, 15 a day. It varies. It really does. The latest drink package I've seen from Norwegian, the most outrageous one I've seen now is $135 a day plus a 20% tip. If I'm not mistaken, it's right up there. It's like 150 something bucks a day per person, minimum 2 people per cabin. So it's $310 a day. 7-day cruise, $2,170 for your drink package for a week. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You can take one of those great big shopping carts at Costco and load it up with alcohol and load that whole cart up. I don't know if you can get $2,100 worth of most booze in there. I know there are some of you out there saying, Bruce, you can go to get the really expensive stuff, those $400 bottles, you can get 10 grand of those in there. I know. But the stuff you normally drink, you buy like a Bacardi rum at a Costco, what are they, $15 a piece in California, $16? You can't put $2,100 worth of Bacardi in a shopping cart. That'd be pretty tough. It might spill over. That's a lot of money for booze. And try to drink that in a week. Good luck. You can't do it. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Glenn, I have purchased a drink package on my cruise in November. It was a flat 62 Australian a day. No mention of gratuities. Well, I'll check your account there, Glenn. You may have been charged. Valerie, that depends on the cruise line, Megan. Glenn, it might have been built in. I don't know. You may have bought a $50 package, which had $12 built in for tipping. I don't know. It all depends. Mark, I love that expression, a minefield of fun. I think I'll use that one at work. Minefield of fun. Glenn never had a maximum of drinks on any drink package. I purchased over 20 odd cruises. Brittany, Disney is awesome without kids. Monique, thanks, Brittany. Monique, I think I'm going to take my grandkids because I'm not sure how it would look for an adult to be on the ship without those kids. Colin Englert is here. I'm back. Sorry, I've not been here for a while. Busy stuff. Colin, welcome back to the show. Good to see you. Monique, does anyone know when a company won't let you get the insurance? I'm talking close to the sale date. Monique, I can't tell you that. I can't say. If you book through a travel agent, you can probably call your travel agent last minute. They can probably still get you a policy. You might be able to get it through the cruise line directly, even last minute. And then if you're part of like the automobile club, if you're like a member of the automobile club, you can probably get travel insurance through them over the phone. You might be able to add it to your membership. That's something to look into. But check for deductibles and coverages to make sure you're covered for everything you need. Interesting. Vivian, it's 11:16 p.m. Oh, well, off the bed, guys. See you all tomorrow. Nice show, Bruce. Stay safe. Thank you, Vivian. You have a good night. Colin, one time I was watching Royal Caribbean Next Cruise broadcast, and they were talking about the destinations, and they mixed up Ketchikan and Hubbard Glacier. I was confused when I saw that, and I laughed. One is confused with the other. That kind of makes it interesting. Brittany, everyone that I spoke to has been on the Pride, that's been on the Pride America, has gotten sick either from seasickness or something else. Now, that's an interesting comment. Sela, yes, good job on pronouncing my name. Sela Thompson. Thank you, Sela. Paul Wilson, hello, Bruce and everyone. I'm late today. Welcome, Paul, from the road. Sheila, Starbucks is picky. My daughter works part-time there, and she goes to college full-time. We're going on a cruise on the Miracle in May for her graduation. Right on, Sheila. Tom R. Thanks, Brittany. I'm considering it for December of this year. Jim from Evans, Georgia. Good evening, Bruce. Hi there, Jim from Evans. How you doing, buddy? Colin, how do they make and print your CPAS card? These right here, these CPAS cards right here, they're made on the computer. They have a printer right by the counter. They take a photo of you. They register it to your account. It used to be your photo used to be on the card. Nowadays, it's not even on the card anymore. It's in the system. When you check out, get off the ship, say at a port of call, they scan the scanner over that barcode there. The guy is looking at your face, holding your card in his hand, and he looks at the screen right in front of him, and he sees your mug, your photo on that card. He knows it's you. That's how they do it. But these are going by the way of the dodo bird. They're being replaced with bracelets that now have a chip here, and that you just scan that on the little thingy there when you get off the ship, and the same thing, your picture appears right in front of the security officer. They know it's you. That's how they're doing it now. Monique, okay, thanks, Bruce. I will check AAA. Paul Wilson, I just got done booking the cruise on Carnival for February 2021 in the Cloud9 Spa Suite. Oh, right on. Way to go, Paul. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. You probably will enjoy that quite nicely. Very well done, sir. Pretty cool stuff. I've caught up with all my messages here. There's still 59 of you with me. Fantastic. Valerie, I took my own picture for online check-in at home for my Royal Caribbean cruise. Right on. Getting more and more fancy all the time. I know now in Miami, when you go through the brand new Royal Caribbean cruise terminal, they have facial recognition technology now. So when you check in, they probably take your picture. You probably have to put your chin on a little thing and look into a thing. They take photos there with your eyes and everything else. When you get back, same thing. You look into the thing and it clears you automatically because it's all the information is pertinent to that mug. For me, it's a face made for radio, but I'm on live 6-8 times a week. What can I say? That's why I stay as far back from the camera as I can. I have a cheap camera in this computer. I don't want to be too high quality because I'll scare off viewers. We don't want to be doing that. Facial recognition technology is what is happening, and that's going to be the norm going forward. Get ready for more and more of that, because you got to keep 6,500 people moving to get them off a ship and to get them on a ship. You're processing 13,000 passengers in 5 hours, 6 hours. That requires technology to do. You can't do it with paperwork anymore, with stamps and all that. No, those days are over. Very interesting. Valerie, I took my own picture. Thank you very much. I've caught you guys. Thank you. I have 63 thumbs ups today. Thank you for that very much. Before I say my goodbyes, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching me daily. Thank you for all your support with RedBubble and with Amazon's affiliate link that I have. Really appreciate it. Glad that you came by and spent some time with me today. I'm on tomorrow twice, 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Looking forward to having the two shows and trivia tomorrow night. Let's have some fun with that. Wendy Thompson says barcode was 26. Valerie Jones, I was in Miami. Fastest check-in she ever saw. Erica, I am super excited. Only 2 weeks away from my very first Oceania cruise. 10 nights. I will be, it'll be number 32. Cruise number 32 for Erica. Erica, you got to tell us what it's like on Oceania. I'd be curious. I hear good things. Love to hear what your thoughts are on Oceania, if they live up to your expectations and what you've been promised. Sheila, yes, I thought Miami was fast. My very first cruise too. Valerie just walked in at 10:30 a.m. By buying the key. Very interesting. Yes, that would be another way to get on quickly. The key program, it's not for everybody, but they are doing what they can to increase revenue and increase speed of check-in. Quite interesting. I'm looking forward to Virgin Voyages. They're going to have the red carpet treatment for the Rockstar Suites. You get to Miami, you're going to go to their dedicated terminal, and you get a limo ride from wherever you're from in Miami, maybe the airport or hotel. You get a limo ride right to the terminal. You go into the Rockstar lineup area, which is a VIP area. You go through there, and then you get to walk the red carpet right to your ship. It's all high-end, and it's all, you get special treatment because you're a rock star, because you're in one of their rock star suites. You're paying for it, believe me. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how this plays out. I'm looking forward to seeing some vids on that. I wouldn't mind witnessing that myself in person, but I need an invitation from Richard Branson and his gang to come on down. I'm more than happy to take a cruise and do a review and be on board to do some live shows on Virgin Voyages when they bring out the Scarlet Lady. That'd be fine by me. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, time will tell. Thank you again for joining me today, folks. I'm going to call it a show right here. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. It was February the 27th today. I will hope you stay warm, stay safe, and stay healthy. 65 thumbs ups have come in today. Thank you for that. And I wish you a pleasant evening, and I will see you tomorrow at 5. In the meantime, take care and goodbye for now. See you guys.